We're live, great. Okay. Hi folks. Welcome back to another check-in. So this is 3 days late, and it's not really that big of a deal if my check-in happens on the first or not, but the good news is the reason why I'm a few days late is because we had two friends come over. We all isolated for at least 2 weeks. They came up from out of town. One of them was a previous housemate of ours, and when they got to spend time with us, it was really an awesome visit. I was so happy that we got to socialize and have some really tasty food and fellowship together. It felt really nice. I'm still riding the good waves of that, but that also meant that the day before and a little episode that I had leading up to this meant that my updates for the Patreon were not put out on December as I asked for. So what I told myself I'd do for anything else is to put those on Patreon and then do my catch-up video. So they're done, and I'd like to show you them. This is an image that I started probably 2 years ago. My motivation for it being the first time I went to Joshua Tree, and it had like this spiritual buzzing in the air, and it felt like this is where resin could live, resin being my black hair persona, in case you don't know. I thought that this would be a fun thing to show you in the catch-up video. This is where the face was previously. I had just done a bunch of different iterations on the face before it got to this, and then I made this change today, which is embarrassing that I didn't notice at first. Flipping horizontally counts. So thanks to Sasha and Eric for helping me with the head. Next, I got to do this image. And this was also based off of something that's older, although in this case it was a much older image where there wasn't a whole lot going on here. I love cannibalizing my old work and getting to do basically anything I want to with these things. You can chop it up and split it around. The crop on the Oracle deck cards will be right here where the turquoise lines are. So the black hair patrons, they're going to see this image and this in their inboxes, along with links to the high-res files. If you're interested in seeing that, there's certainly a lot of content here to enjoy. This is the full res on this one. This is the full res on this one. All those tasty textures. Finally, the image I did for that color tarot deck has been completed. However, I am not allowed to publish the full image, so for all intents and purposes, what I'm doing here isn't bad. This isn't exactly published, but you may see me on social media sneaking some previews of this image out there just to build up some excitement. I will link to the project in this video description in case you want to see what the other tarot cards will be like and all the artists that participated on the deck. That took some time for me to do that one. That and the desert image both. They were labors of love. So yeah, glad that's done. Feel a huge sense of relief because that collaborative card in the tarot deck, since it was outside the furry fandom and it's with a lot of artists that I've known, some of them are my friends. I don't want to disappoint people. And I also feel a pressure to perform at a high enough level. When there's something that's more traditionally illustration. What I don't want to do is seem like I'm coasting on the expectations we'll have of furry artists, that the work isn't going to be as capable because it's more a specific kind of sentimentality, more sexually overt, people's expectations lower because it's porn, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm glad that the project manager was okay with that card because I spent so much time looking at it that I couldn't even tell what I was looking at anymore. Didn't even know if it was good or not. but I had Sasha look at it. He liked the birds, wasn't embarrassed by them, and that's the most important part for me. So let me see if I can pull up. This will probably it. This is going to be the next image that I spend my time on as a finished commission. You'll have this character here kneeling, and they're going to be pulling their experiences from the back forward, and it'll cross a kind of chasm. I don't know what the full res is set on this. Okay, I definitely have some stuff to play with. And this is going to be a black and white image as it finishes. It is not going to have color in it at all. So how about that? That's new for me. Let's get rid of that UI. What other thing? You just finished doing a run? And Sasha just finished doing a run. How did it go? It reminds me of a new thing. Sasha and I have been doing more intense upper body workouts where we're actually using weights and doing dips and stuff. So I get to feel like my body's becoming stronger than it was just by doing Ring Fit, although Ring Fit's a really good thing to get you started, to grease the wheels, especially if you need some routines for things you typically won't be doing for your muscle groups. Another thing that I found to be really useful and worthy of sharing, I wasn't planning this, but I definitely want to bring it up now that I'm remembering. There's a website that I use for my language studies that's relatively new called, it's new to me, but it's been around for a few years now. It's called LingQ, but it's spelled LingQ. There it is. Here's what makes this website so amazing. You can upload articles or YouTube videos or Netflix videos. So this video, for example, chronology is never correct or is never right.
Okay, erst dachte ich, das ist total bescheuert. Dann dachte ich, was für ein Drama. Und dann stellte sich heraus, dass es alles.
All of these words start out as blue, and any word that you don't know, you flag it by clicking it. You can also take expressions, like here, stellte sich heraus, turned out to be, versus stellte versus heraus. You can take all of these and it keeps track of how familiar you are with the expressions. So you can see that heraus is lighter in color than stellte. As we go forward, you'll see that other words are even lighter and have an underline that's dotted. As things become more and more familiar with you, they're going to fade into whiteness. And what's amazing about this is it's a vocabulary system where it's always in context of a topic that you are learning. So you never have to go through flashcards and just like have it be completely random. It's topics that are valuable to you. This makes a really big difference in language studies. You can import these things if there are articles, YouTube videos, or Netflix shows that haven't yet to be updated that you want. That's like an amazing resource. So I'll be linking my referral link there too. I actually get paid if I think it'd take like 100 people to click the link, so I'm not expecting that. But the reason you should click it if you check it out is because without a referral link, the free version you'll have access to only gets you like 20 of those keywords, which is nothing. I think with the referral link, you get 200 to check out, see if you like it. It's worth the money. I'll probably be subscribing yearly to that. And the site either takes referral bonuses out of my balance or I can actually cash out once I've reached $100. So the fact that they respect you enough to give you that option, I found to be fascinating too. Is there anything else I want to cover? We could just talk about 2020 now that it's done. Once February came around, it was obvious that America had something to worry about even before it hit us. If you're paying attention internationally, things were getting bad in February outside of China. There was even stuff happening in January. There's not really anything that I could say on my feelings that you haven't heard a million times before or probably felt for yourself. But something that I do want to summarize that I think is for some reason important enough is that there was a balance that I struck after about 2 or 3 months when isolating started. I remembered not only myself, but a lot of my friends, we had coping mechanisms that were self-medicating to various degrees of unhealthy. After a couple months, there was like a general consensus among myself and friends where we felt like we spent enough time just like drinking too much or doing whatever else, and that it wasn't an excuse anymore and we had to really do something about it. Of course, we were working throughout that too, but at the expense of our physical well-being, that's not really like a year-long plan. That's more for just keeping your head above water. There were moments after that where like every few months a week would hit and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna drink at least once a day for this week. Don't feel bad about it. I think more than talking about 2020 as a whole, I would like to mention that winters are difficult for me because of my seasonal affective disorder. And something that I really appreciated is that I had to drink way less this December. Christmas was easier, a lot of things felt easier. And this house is definitely a part of that too, knowing that we have the closure of a house. Sasha, for the record, on the other side of this wall, he's been doing more paintings than any previous year. I'm really proud of him for that. So not everyone is in the same page with the logistics of the house and how easy it is for them to work and what access they have to space, but we continue to build positive momentum, so I have a lot to be grateful for. I can certainly say that. There is one last thing to mention. I haven't been streaming the last week and a half, I think, because our internet situation has been spotty. And I hate that there can be completely smooth, reasonable test results when Eric is testing a stream, but then when I go to stream, it shits the bed and I'm not even able to be audible because of how bad the ping is, and it just keeps dropping constantly. So we had someone inspect it recently and we're still figuring out what the consequences are of that. But yeah, I really like not streaming. It allows me to be more available for people who need it. And just for me to have time to work on stuff I don't want to stream. But also, not having that routine, it's hard. I already had a few friends check in on me just because they know that having a critical component of your routine taken from you, that's not a good thing. So yeah, the fact that I just now submitted the December updates that I wanted to on January 3rd, I think it speaks to that. Yeah, I've got plenty of images queued up that I'm ready to sink my teeth in. In fact, I might actually have the images done for this month's update. For all I know, I work on these out of order. I basically have all of these here for the Oracle deck, including the miscellaneous ones. And I work on them based on whatever feels most natural at the time. So let's check if we had resin F here. Yeah, actually this image with the Donnie Darko sensor, of course. There's there's no genitalia under here, just an implication, but you know how Twitch is. So this image, most of the hard work's done. I just need to make it feel complete. Definitely more lighter marks. And then let's see what else is happening for Resin G. Oh yeah, I spent a lot of time on this one too. So black hairs, I anticipate that these images will not be delayed this month. You will actually get these. You'll get these on schedule for the month. These are some really fucky notes. It's a good thing you can't tell what any of these are. I'd basically be disseminating pornography. How about that? My gestures are incredibly messy. I can't tell what they are some of the time. So that completes the check-in, even though it's really weird and a little bit out of order. But thanks as always to the people who are still here supporting me. It means so much to me that you do that. We had over, like since October, there were, I think, probably 6 or 7 $10 pledges that dropped. And in the exit survey, it said my financial situation changed. Someone dropped a pledge recently and said that they'll get back to pledging at the end of the month, but they just had to pull their pledge due to financial reasons. And I'm humbled every time someone can't afford to do something, but they anticipate coming back to it, just because they know that we appreciate it here and it contributes to our household. So thanks is not enough to let you all know how much the support means, because as I navigate this really difficult part of human history, it's scary to think of where I'd be without Patreon and without the people like you watching this video who support me on any financial level or emotional level or whatever it may be that brought you here. So huge thanks for that. Huge thanks. I can't believe that people care about what I want to produce art-wise, and also writing too. There will be writing coming this month, probably for the furry art strategy guide. That concludes my completely out of order update. Okay, bye friends, take care of yourselves. Please be as safe as you can, circumstances permitting, and I will try and do my best over here too. Sasha's birthday is on the 10th, so I will be breaking a month of abstinence to have a few drinks with him then. And I will see you, at least video format wise, around February 1st for the next check-in. Take care, friends. You have my love and my care and my well wishes.